Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of This Week in IP&O. We are, of course, as always, live from the couch in my room. We have a very special guest. We have Senior Director of Environmental Services, Dave Dehart. Dave, thanks for joining me on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. You've really made it when you're on IP&O at home.
So for the people watching that maybe don't know, what your job entails on a day-to-day basis, can you let us know what, as Senior Director of Environmental Services, a normal day for you looks like?
Normal day? I don't know if there is such a thing as a normal day. However, basically I handle all of the custodial services statewide, solid waste and recycling, pest control, special events, and all the good things that go with it.
One thing I wanted to ask you was, right before the whole work from home order, you and Rich have been working on a lot of the placards and like the hand sanitizing stations,
Yeah.
and the soap stations before all this even happened.
Well,
So
I was actually looking forward to sharing that because it's a great story. This goes back to, well, the RFP that we put out for paper products and hand soap was awarded probably sometime in June or July. And then we had to go through the process of removing all of the dispensers, both paper, toilet tissue, roll towel, and hand soap statewide, and then installing new dispensers for our new vendor. But the great thing about our hand soap program is that we literally had we standardized throughout the entire state. So whether you're in Newark, Camden, New Brunswick, Piscataway, when you go to use the hand soap, you're going to be using the same soap, the same dispenser, the same experience. And basically we had to install almost 7,000 hand soap dispensers statewide. And we finished up the last one in New Brunswick, Piscataway. Everyone had been done. New Brunswick, Piscataway was the last. And if my memory's correct, we finished the last one somewhere around December 20th, 2019. And this is before the COVID had become even, I don't even know if anybody knew about it then. But the fact that we were able to get our program in place before this hit was a real lifesaver. And it's not just a matter of having a different kind of hand soap in place. We went with Buckeye hand soap. It's Green Seal certified. It's biodegradable. It's manufactured from 39% bio-based materials, so it's renewable and sustainable. There's no dye, no phosphates. The packaging is BPA free. And because it's a foaming soap, you get 3,125 shots per container. And it has a very pleasant scent to it. But the thing that I like most about it is we were able to standardize our dispensers. Let's see, can I get this up there right? And I worked with Rich on this so we could brand it. We got the white and the red with the Rutgers Institutional Planning and Operations logo up here. So whether you're in Newark, Camden, New Brunswick, Piscataway, RBHS, no matter where you go, you're going to see this. And it just keeps getting better and better because I worked with Rich and we were able to come up with these placards that go with the dispenser. And this one here, you can see we've got the Scarlet Shield defending against cold and flu. And these were developed by Rich. And you talk about good timing. To have this come into play right before the pandemic hit was spectacular. And these are two-sided, and the idea was being that when winter is over, then we would turn them around to this side, which is the how do we look sign, and we've got the QR code on there. So if the bathroom needs servicing, somebody can just click on scan the QR code, and it'll take you right to the work request online portal. And just when you think it couldn't get any better than that, we also have placards that help promote our recycling program. And those go in there, and it tells you what we recycle and what goes in the trash. And then on the other side of that is all of the different things that we're doing within the department that are sustainable. And I think this is important because a lot of people may not realize what we do, but everything that we do is done with environmental sustainability in mind. Then, as if it couldn't get any better than that, I know, fasten your seatbelt. We're using the same dispensers for hand sanitizer. We never had hand sanitizer before. We only had hand soap. And people used to ask me, Dave, why do we not have hand sanitizer? I used to say, we do. We have it in every bathroom in the form of hand soap and running water. But during the pandemic, I'm not sure that would go over so well. So now we have the hand sanitizer placards to go along with the dispensers as well to dispense hand sanitizer. And these are like every 10 feet, so you can run from one to the next and be safe. I'm like,
the timing on all of that is still like pretty incredible to me. I had forgotten that you guys had been working on that at the time that you did, because it was really like, bang, the dispensers are out, bang, like now we really need them, you know?
It was I'll tell you, it was a miracle that we got it all done, you know, without even knowing that COVID was coming. And our hand sanitizer is 62% alcohol, which meets the CDC recommendations. But the great thing about it is if you've used it, you'll know that it has aloe and vitamin E in it, which leaves your skin feeling refreshed instead of sticky and residue filled. So it's a really quality program, and I'm very proud of that.
And you know what?
Everything statewide standardized.
I like that hand sanitizer too, because especially in the beginning of like the pandemic, I felt like I was sanitizing my hands like every 5 minutes, and it was getting to the point where I was like drying out my hands so much they were like cracking. But I like
Right.
the ones at the Rutgers buildings because they don't make my hands do that.
I love it.
Yeah. So what, these dispensers and that were developed right before the pandemic, what other things have you and your team been working on from March until now that people may not be aware of that's been happening?
Well, it's weird because it almost seems like when we installed this, it almost seems like 10 years ago. It's
Yeah.
gone through these crazy times, and what it was funny that when the pandemic started, the entire focus was on cleaning and sanitizing. And really, that's what our team has been focusing on the entire time, to clean and sanitize touchables. Now that we're preparing to go back for next September, what we're finding is that they're saying the chances of you catching this by touching something are extremely low, which is good to know. But it almost changes the focus from in the beginning, where it was primarily custodians keeping the place clean and sanitized. Now it's almost a swing to mechanical maintenance, making sure the airflow in the building is good and the filters are changed and you're using the right filters. And it's, we're still out there cleaning and sanitizing, but it was interesting to see how the pendulum has swung from that to where we are today. And there's a real focus on the air exchange in the buildings.
Mhm. Yeah, that was a theme of ours on the show. Like early on, was that we were like afraid of like touching groceries and stuff because that we thought we were gonna get it.
Sanitizing the mail.
Yeah, and at least it's good to see that like is now just being extremely cautious.
It is. And, that's why it's so important that you wear the mask, you wash your hands, you keep your distance. And, that generally seems to be a pretty good recipe for success.
Yeah. Well, Dave, thank you for coming on the show. Um, I liked hearing about the process of those dispensers. I still just can't get over the timing of that. So yeah, thank you for coming on. And if there's anything else,
I got to hear before I go, I got to give a shout out to my team
yeah,
because everybody that knows me knows that I love my team. I take pride in my team. But now with this pandemic and everything my custodians have done, my custodians, my group leaders, my forepersons, area managers, anybody that's associated with environmental services, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. This university would really be up the creek without you. Everybody serves a role here, no matter what job, what your position is. Everybody plays a part, from the people that clean and maintain our buildings to the guy that's developing the saliva test. I always tell my people that you might not think you're involved in some of these areas of research, but you know what? Keeping the building clean and pleasant for the guy that's working on the saliva test. Maybe he worked a little later. Maybe he was in a little bit better mood, and maybe they played just a little role in helping this university develop some of the things that we develop. So this university, they'd be up the creek without our team in environmental services, and I want to thank them from the bottom of my heart.
it's like that story. I feel like I'm gonna get it wrong, but it's like the story of the custodian working at NASA, and they asked him what does he do, and he said that he's helping to put a man on the moon.
That's right.
Everyone in the organization, no matter what they're doing, has a role in the
Absolutely.
overall goal.
100%. Whether it's COVID research, cancer research, it doesn't matter. Everybody plays a role.
Exactly. All right. Well, thanks, Dave, for coming on, and thank you to everyone in environmental services, and thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you again next week.
Thank you very much.